Welcome to today's Miracle Moment. I'm Marcy Scheimoff, and I'm the founder of Your Year of Miracles, where we help thousands of people around the world live in the miracle zone. And today's Miracle Moment is about the miraculous power of receiving. It is absolutely fabulous to receive, whether it's love or prosperity or kindness or appreciation or gifts. Each one of those is a wonderful blessing in our lives. And having the power to open up and receive means that we have the ability to fill up and enjoy more connection, more abundance, and more love. But the problem is that most of us grew up hearing messages like it's better to give than to receive. And while it's incredibly rewarding to give, and we are all behind giving, it's possible that we have overlooked the hidden downsides of prioritizing giving over receiving. We might have, unconsciously created some blocks to our ability to receive based on some kind of a perception that somehow it's selfish or it's wrong. And I know far too many people who end up feeling completely depleted, and they feel exhausted, and they feel unfulfilled. And so much of it is because they haven't learned how to fill themselves up, and they haven't learned how to receive. And so they're pushing away the abundant gifts that come flowing in from the universe all the time. And it really pushes away the ability to live more and more in the miracle zone. So if any of that feels familiar to you, you're in the right place. And in this miracle moment, I'm going to share with you a wonderful process that you can practice to open up to joyfully receiving. Now, I know that it's so common for people to feel really uncomfortable receiving. I know people squirm. Maybe you are one of these people when you kind of squirm inside when someone offers you a kind word. Maybe they say something, a compliment, and they say something nice to you, and there's something inside that goes, eh. Or maybe they give you a present, or maybe they offer to help you. So, do you kind of squirm at those things, or do you truly, fully allow yourself to deeply receive the gifts of kindness and caring and connection? And there are some reasons that you might feel uncomfortable receiving. And one of them is that we might fear intimacy, and that we feel like getting a gift from somebody or a compliment is a little vulnerable, or helps us, not feel so comfortable and not feel we don't want to have a deeper connection with somebody. And we don't want to really reveal maybe a vulnerable part of ourselves. So are you having a hard time kind of feeling vulnerable? Because that's what it takes to open up to receive. Maybe you felt that it was selfish. Maybe you came from a family or a religious background or something cultural that taught you that it was selfish to receive. And maybe you lost touch with the fact that it's actually your birthright. You have an inherent worthiness and the right to relish in life's pleasures. And maybe you feel guilty or you feel pressured to reciprocate. Some people have a hard time receiving because they think that that's going to make them indebted to the giver. And so we'll kind of push away a gift because we feel like, oh God, this means I'm going to have to give back something equivalent or even better. So there are lots of different ways that we block ourselves from this opening and pleasure of receiving. And that's why it's really important that we bring awareness to those areas so we can soften them, and so that we can really open our hearts to be joyfully receptive. I have a very dear friend who is one of the best receivers in the world. And I consider her, she's actually does work for the whole world. She's a giver. She's helped, she's been an activist and helped many, many causes over the years. But I also notice how beautifully gracious she is in receiving. And a lot of that comes from her really knowing her worthiness, not because of what she's doing, but her inherent worthiness. And because she is comfortable in her own skin, she is comfortable letting other people give her love and give her compliments and give her gifts because she's comfortable in her own skin and her own worthiness. So here's an exercise that I invite you to practice. And the first step is to become aware. So the next time somebody offers you a compliment or offers you a gift or looks lovingly into your eyes, just notice how you feel inside. What's happening in your body? Is your breathing relaxed? Is your belly soft, or are you tensing up? So just become aware of how receiving feels to you. And then the second thing I want you to do is breathe into your heart and see if you can just find some more spaces of softening in your heart to be in a place of allowing. Can you simply be with any sense of caring or connection that you feel in your heart and just be there with it? And so the third step is to remain present. Bring your awareness to anything that feels pleasant or delightful about receiving. So allow yourself to stay in your heart instead of your head. Your heart is what keeps you present. Your head is what keeps you into the past or into the future of thinking, what am I going to have to do to reciprocate? And then the fourth and final step is to offer gratitude. See if you can respond with genuine gratitude as you deeply receive the gift, because it's your appreciation of the gift that you are actually giving back to the person who gave it to you. You are reciprocating in your appreciation. So learning to receive is I think a very big step in experiencing more and more of life in the miracle zone. It's about deepening that feeling of worthiness and your unconditional self-love that is the higher vibration of living in the miracle zone. So I want to end this miracle moment with a wonderful quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "Sometimes we receive the power to say yes to life, then peace enters us and makes us whole." So here is to your saying yes to life and yes to the miraculous power of receiving. And I'd love to hear from you. What is your experience? Have you been able to shift and maybe open up more to receiving? And how might you be able to shift in the future to receiving with more joy? And I just wish you many, many moments of relishing in the gifts of life that come your way and in experiencing all of the abundance that the Miracle Zone has to offer. Lots of love to you.